Once, an engine attached to a train was afraid of a few drops of rain. He went into a tunnel, squeaked through his funnel, and wouldn't come out again. The engine's name was Henry. His driver and fireman argued with him, but he wouldn't move.
The rain will spoil my lovely green paint with red stripes.
The guard got out. He blew his whistle at Henry until he had no more breath, and waved his green flag until his arms ached. But Henry stayed in the tunnel and blew steam at him.
I'm not spoiling my green paint with red stripes for any of you.
Along came Edward with a passenger train. He stopped just outside the tunnel. Out of one of the coaches came Sir Topham Hatt, the man in charge of all the engines on the railway. They call him the Fat Director.
No engine on this railway is allowed to behave like this. They work hard no matter what's the weather. Even you.
But Henry just blew steam at him.
All right then, we shall pull you out.
They found some old rope and attached it to Henry's front. The driver, fireman, guard, and passengers lined up to pull. The Fat Director stood aside and overlooked the operation.
My apologies. My doctor has forbidden me to pull. 1, 2, 3, pull!
The people pulled and pulled and pulled with all their might, but Henry still stayed in the tunnel. Then everyone went around to the back to push Henry out of the tunnel. The Fat Director called out,
1, 2, 3, push!
but he didn't help.
My doctor has forbidden me to push.
The passengers and crew pushed as hard as they could, but it was no use. Henry stayed in the tunnel. At last, another engine, a red one named Winston, came along, and the guard flagged him down. The passengers continued to argue with Henry.
Look, it stopped raining.
Yeah, it's safe to come out now.
Yes, indeed.
But it will begin again. And what will become of my green paint with red stripes then?
Winston buffered up to the back of the train. He pushed and puffed and puffed and pushed with all his might, until he ran out of breath, and Henry still stayed in the tunnel. At last, even the Fat Director gave up.
Fine then, Henry. You can stay in there. But as long as you refuse to be a really useful engine, we will take away your rails and leave you here for always and always and always.
So that's exactly what they did. some workmen pulled up the old rails and laid a wall on either end of the tunnel so engines wouldn't bump into Henry. All Henry could do was watch other engines pass by with their trains. He felt very sad because he couldn't pull trains of his own anymore, and no one would be able to see his lovely green paint with red stripes again. Sometimes Edward passed by, and he would always kindly whistle, "Beep, beep."
Hello!
Other times, Gordon would pass by, and he would whistle,
Boop, boop. Serves you right.
Poor Henry had no steam to answer either engine. His fire had gone out. As time went on, his paint was spoiled after all by soot from the tunnel roof. He fell into depression and wondered if he would ever be allowed out of the tunnel again.